Hello everyone, this is Big Money chasing big money by using SharkFin. In this video, I will take a look at a fairly new investment product on the Bitget platform, which is called SharkFin. I'm going to show you how it works, how to use it, and what results can be expected. This tool raised my interest because it has a guaranteed profit. Not much, but still, you can't lose if you put money in it. Considering that it is completely risk-free, it would be a mistake not to try it at least. Now, let's see what this is all about. The idea is that you lock up a certain amount of funds for a week, either in BTC or USDT, and after 7 days, you get your funds back with some interest with no possibility to lose. We need to consider two things here, the timeline and the profit. We don't have to worry about risk in this case. Now the timeline I am looking at is fixed. It is always 7 days, repeating in sequence. However, this is preceded by a subscription period of 2 days, so that I would have a comfortable amount of time to allocate whatever funds I want to invest. Once the subscription period ends, the allocated funds get locked in for a week. After the lockup period is over, the profit is calculated and the following day the funds are returned to my wallet along with the earned interest. It is important to know that I can cancel this anytime during the subscription period, but once the lockup is executed, I have no chance of retrieving the invested funds before the period is over. In fact, even when I reach the time of the settlement, I still need to wait another day until I can access the invested amounts. If I am looking at the entire timeline, it is actually 10 days, all things considered. So, how much can I make by locking up my funds for more than a week? The numbers always come in a range, which is defined at the end of the subscription period. Now, here's the interesting part. The profit range achievable depends on the price of Bitcoin at the end of the lockup period. To show you a real-life example, I subscribed to last week's SharkFin session by investing 100 USDT. As you can see, the price range defined at the time when the subscription period ended was 15,600 to 18,100 USDT for BTC. So if the price of BTC was 15,600 at the settlement time, my APR would be 1.2%. On the other hand, if the price went up and reached 18,100 at the settlement time, the APR would be 8.6%. If the price is anywhere in between, my earnings would be directly proportional to this range. So what happens when the price is lower than 15,600 or higher than 18,100? Well, guess what? I am still earning money even though it is just the minimal rate, which is 1% in this case. This is why it's called SharkFin, by the way, because the profit curve looks like the fin of a shark sticking out of the water. The story is simple here. If the price of BTC lands on the fin at the settlement time, you get an increased earning rate. If the price falls out of the range and ends up in the water, you get just the baseline profit. At this point, it is worth noting what we are talking about in terms of percentages. When we say APR, it means annualized profit rate. So this is basically how much the earnings would be if the lockup period was not 7 days, but actually a full year. When I talk about real percentages, I have to divide that by 365 and multiply it by the number of days in lockup, which is 7 in this case, and that's how I get my actual profit percentage. In my example, at the end of the settlement, the price of Bitcoin was 18,800, so it fell out of range and it hit water. This means that the following calculation applies. So for 100 USDT, I earned 1%, which is $1, but this is for the year. So I have to divide it by 365. I will get this amount of USDT and I will multiply it by 7, and this is the end result. So basically, I earned 2 cents on a $100 investment. That is pretty much invisible, no doubt. So I started to wonder, how can this be interesting to anyone? I can imagine this to be a reasonable choice to someone who is in an accumulation phase during the bear market period. So, if somebody is taking advantage of the low prices and keeps on buying BTC on a regular basis before the bull market kicks in, investing the holdings in such a product could provide some additional profits, which is still better than no profit at all. If there is already a nice bag of BTC just sitting in the account, the options are either withdrawing it to a cold wallet or put it to use and let it grow slowly over time without actually exposing it to any risk whatsoever. Especially with compounding applied, it could generate some additional profits compared to just having it sitting there in a hot wallet doing nothing, and it could be a better alternative than staking or locking it up to other passive earning options. It is worth mentioning that these percentages are the ones that I have seen in the beginning. It is quite possible that these will change over time to be more attractive to users. On the other hand, removing the assets to a cold wallet could provide security that none of the exchanges could ever do, so there is that counter argument to be made too. As soon as I see attractive profit ranges, I will probably use it every now and then, but for the time being, I am happy with keeping the majority of my HODL coins on my cold wallet and the trade assets on the exchanges. Alright guys, this is all I have for you for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I managed to provide some perspective on this product. In the upcoming videos, I will cover some other new features introduced to Bitget. Apart from that, I will report in with my monthly copy trading update on the 1st of February as promised. Until then, trade safe, big money out.